Chapter 4. Oatmeal's head was spinning. It was too much to realize how he felt about old Jet. The silly bareness of it was undeniable, unexpected, unclean. This was no coincidence. Jet had been right about the mission all along. It was a sham. The golden ox was irrelevant. The truth had come full circle. Two men, alone, out in the boonies, sharing a tent, with only each other to depend on. The maddening calls of the invisible ones, the sinister influence of the night dark. Too obvious, really. The people upstairs were trying to turn them silly bears. It was a test, a method of filtering out weak links from the battalion. Oatmeal got up and brushed dirt off his clothes, as if ridding himself of all traces of silly bears. He searched for his rifle in the bushes where Jet had chucked it before, casting back an unforgiving glance. Jet was still reclined on the path, staring whimsically at the sky. His eyes made Oatmeal feel uneasy. They appeared sober but curious, detached but aware, almost like the people upstairs. Maybe old Jet could pass for one of them after all. "Ha! There!" Oatmeal shouted. His rifle was found propped up against a small pineapple plant, the barrel dug into the dirt a little. He frowned at the weapon, then at Jet. "Fucked up my gun, jackass!" "You're a dumb bastard," old Jet commented. Oatmeal clicked his ammo magazine in and out, and then sighted along the barrel for warping. In his anger, he realized he was trying to find something wrong, but the gun was built sturdy, like a soldier. It was just dirty. "That's it. It's ruined," he lied. "You ruined it." "Good," Jet said. "Now what?" Oatmeal glared from his gun to the darkening sky, then back at Jet. "Now I've got to go back to the barracks and get a repair kit, that's what," he snarled. "It isn't safe out here. It isn't worth it. We can't trust you to defend us from the invisible ones." Jet held his forgiving smile on Oatmeal like he was seeing right through him. He knew Oatmeal was being chicken. He was gonna let it slide. Oatmeal wanted to scream. He held it in, not wanting to give Jet the satisfaction. "A soldier needs no sympathy," he whimpered, then called Jet a dirty maggot scrubber. "You go ahead and go," Jet said seriously. "Go back to the castle. I'm sure whatever punishment they cook up for abandoning me, you'll live. That's the whole problem, isn't it? You'll live, and you'll live, and you'll live. You know what I think? A soldier doesn't live. A soldier survives. So what then? I'll go out searching for a golden ox, and maybe I'll just march right out past the furthest fence. Past the next furthest fence. Whatever fences there are. Maybe I'll just keep going and see what I can see. The invisible lands, maybe? They say don't go out there. They say it's death. So maybe I'll be a free man for once. Maybe I'd rather take my chances with the monsters than be stuck here with a bunch of idiots. It's fucking nonsense." Oatmeal could feel his mouth hang open. He'd never heard such heresy being openly spoken. Hearing these words could be dangerous. He forced himself to grin. "Ha, invisible lands, huh?" he jeered. "How you gonna get there? In a jet? Are you gonna fly there in a sky tank with little people inside?" The teasing had no effect. Oatmeal kept trying, growing more desperate. "Well, have fun getting devoured by monsters. And don't ever forget your brilliant theory that dragon shit's a jet stream. That's just about the funniest thing I've ever heard in my life." He felt a lump growing in his throat, even as he gleefully humped a tall conifer, reprising his favorite song, "Big dumb silly butt, silly crazy stupid dumb, big jet, big old jet." Jet just stared at Oatmeal's show. "Ha!" Oatmeal yelped, pacing back and forth. "Ha ha! I can't wait to go back and tell everyone that Jet, that big old Jet here, thinks there's flying tanks, that silly, crazy, dumb old Jet's gonna go off the edge of the world and enlist with the invisible ones. Old Jet's gonna desert the Red Zone Army. Old Jet's gonna kill himself because he thinks he knows better. And you know what they'll say? They'll say you're just a big, dumb crazy. We're all gonna laugh our asses off." Tears streamed down Oatmeal's cheeks. He couldn't stop them. He couldn't stop anything. He thought he heard a dripping sound coming from the woods. "You listen to all this stupid caseworker nonsense, sending us off to find all kinds of non-existent animals. It's all a joke. We're pets to them. Caseworker Jens and his trained ape Jet pooping out smoke all over the sky together. What a pretty picture. Next, you'll tell me there's ants flying around and the bananas are being steered around by socks with little green cheese people inside. Can't you see? They're driving us crazy just for fun. Oatmeal's babyish, silly bear feelings stood naked for Jet to see. It made no difference. Jet had stopped staring. He was facing the sky again, eyes closed. Fine, thought Oatmeal. No problem. He had more than just words to make a point with. He found a heavy cube of stone, lifted it from its divot in the ground crawling with centipedes and roly-bugs. He hauled it over to Jet and hurled it sidelong right into his face. Jet opened his eyes as the shadow crossed him, but he couldn't react in time. There was a chalky sound as the stone sledgehammered the front of his skull, breaking several bones, and then rolled several feet away. The blow left him unconscious and rapidly bleeding. His breath came in rapid starts as he choked down fluid and teeth. Oatmeal chuckled and wept at the same time as he watched this. He stared down at Jet's sunken face, feeling a merry-go-round of hatred, affection, and self-hatred. He removed a healing stone from his own pack and placed it on Jet's chest before jogging away. In all likelihood, he had done Jet a favor, he told himself. Maybe Jet would snap back to his senses upon waking up and feeling the magic tingles again. Then again, maybe the monsters would drag him off into the darkness and put him out of his misery. The matter was in the hands of gods now. It was bittersweet at first to leave old Jet, but every step closer to the barracks it got a little bit funnier. The rhythm of Oatmeal's footfalls helped to calm him down. The sway of his pack, of his gun. Familiarity. That was the cure. Routine. His own breath, the warm choke of exertion. His own desperate laughter echoing through the jungle. When Oatmeal laughs, the world laughs. A soldier survives. "See you later, old Jet," he cried into the everlasting sunset. "Oh, what the people upstairs won't tell us to keep us dumb." It was safe to keep talking, to block out all that had happened, to ward off the invisible ones. "The whole damn thing's a joke," Oatmeal yelled confidently. "Ha! To think we were proud of our special assignment. A soldier knows better than that. The role of a soldier is to know his place. They pranked us. They pranked us pretty hard. But now the joke's on old Jet." It crept back into his mind that Jet was still out there, unconscious at the edge of the drunken forest, and at the mercy of the invisible ones. The sun was teasing, but night dark was coming. "They think they know everything, those caseworkers," Oatmeal shouted, making his voice and his legs compete for his lungs. "They take some bizarre pleasure in messing with soldiers, telling tales about jets and oxes and radio waves and whatnot. I don't care if the castle needs 'em. I hate 'em. You can't trust 'em, not like you can trust a good soldier." A branch crashed to the ground at the side of the trail. Oatmeal stopped dead, then stubbed his toe on a rock when he started running again. "Probably an animal or something," he practically screamed. "Maybe it was a golden ox even. Who knows? Those people upstairs, you can never take 'em at face value. They're not military, so what are they? There's always some twist. Why does everything have to be so fucking secret? I don't even care what the truth is anyways." He stared down at the path unwinding in front of him, trying to escape from a world of madness that seemed to be crawling towards him from every angle. Evil seethed within the abstractions of shadows and swishing foliage. His voice was successfully crowding out his more disturbing thoughts. He rambled for so long that he had run out of things to say. His voice fell low, and then trailed off. His first thought was to sing his big old Jet song. He slowed down. He stopped. He squatted down, feeling the ground with his fingertips. "I can't move," he realized. "What is happening to me?" All at once he felt like someone was watching him. The invisible ones. It's them. They're growing stronger. They got Jet. They got old Jet. "Come on, Oatmeal," he begged himself. "Move, you fucker. Survive." He stood back up, darting his eyes around the jungle. He was most of the way back to the castle. "The role of a soldier is to survive," he said, and began walking. "You got old Jet, but you'll never get Oatmeal. Oh, the people upstairs, on the other hand. Yeah, they're gonna punish me. I'll hurry back to be punished. I can survive punishment. He could not run. He was not in control. Something was enchanting him. Something wanted him to turn his head and look back behind him. Something was forcing him to notice the two sets of his own footprints and those of several other men and animals. It was hard to see with so little sunlight, but at least his tracking abilities were still functioning. "They won't even punish me," he told himself, his voice growing hoarse. "There'll be no consequences. I'll go back. I'll get a slap on the wrist that a soldier like me can take. A soldier survives. A really good soldier lives forever. The sky is usually blue, but a soldier is a soldier always." All at once, his pack seemed incredibly heavy. The invisible ones were weakening his lower back. Nevertheless, before long he made it back to the barracks, the widespread structure composed of 4 giant legs holding the castle up. The ground floor of the castle was the base of operations for the entire military, the Red Zone. Grizzly Battalion inhabited the fenced areas of Northwestern Quadrant. The bay doors stood closed, an unfamiliar sight. A security man at the entrance shot Oatmeal a questioning look, which made him immediately avert his eyes. "You all right, soldier?" the security man asked. "Do you need assistance?" "Oatmeal, sir. Unit 13, Grizzly Battalion. Returning from special assignment. Mission failure. I aborted. Other soldier unaccounted for. I'm convinced that the mission was, well, I'd rather not say, sir. I'm prepared for the worst sort of punishment, though." The security man stared at Oatmeal, but Oatmeal kept his eyes on the bay doors until finally the enormous locking bolt magically unlatched, and the doors slowly spread out towards him. "Don't bother disturbing your commanding officer at this hour, soldier. Return to your bunk and await instructions." "Yes, sir," Oatmeal said. Just like that, he was done. Ollie, ollie, oxen free, back to home base. "Back to my fellow soldiers," Oatmeal said. Something felt wrong, though. The night dark had possessed his mind. Could the invisible ones have power over him, right here at the castle? He paused in the bay door for a solid minute, unable to understand his own behavior, powerless to resist the temptation of a tiny evil voice inside his heart. For the next 2 hours he would hate himself. He would ask himself what it was that made him finally turn to the security man against his own better judgment and say, "Hang on a minute, sir. I think I forgot something out there."